And then we're gonna do Menace to Society. I know it's been done to death, but bottom line, you're gonna hear my take on it. So basically, we start off with Caine and No Dog. This was you going to some type of party, whatever like that. But then they hop in the liquor store. They about to get some beers or whatever like that. The people following behind the store talking about, hurry up and buy. They pay for this shit, about to roll out. Then the guy at the cash register is like, yeah, I feel sorry for your mother. Like, really? Of course, Old Dog comes back, start blasting on his fool. He gets the other chick in the back and makes sure he gets the videotape, but he ends up banging off on her too. So you got two people done deal dirty shit. They get the money in the cash and dip out. So we get this flashback into Caine's life when he was about like 8 years old. Now his father basically used to sell drugs and his mom was on some heroin. Basically, she was a crackhead. See, back then, this is around the time, this is like a little bit after the Watts riots. Now his father used to do like mediocre jobs like carpentering, electricians, and things of that nature, but bottom line, mostly what he was doing, selling drugs. One dude was talking shit at the table, we wasn't trying to give him his money, and guess what? Popped him right at the damn table. That was the first time Caine seen anybody get killed, especially his father killing somebody. Now we find out when Caine turned 10 years old, his father ended up dying into some spot. I think it was like a drug deal going wrong or whatever like that. As far as his mom goes, she died off a heroin overdose, so he's basically living with his grandparents right now. And his grandparents are basically religious fanatics, well, his grandfather is anyway. Now back then he used to talk to this dude by the name of Purnell, who was basically the only person he looked at as a father figure more than his dad. Only thing his dad ever taught him was how to cook dope. So it's no surprise he grew up doing the same thing his father was doing. So later on he ends up going to his party, meeting up with Old Dog, Chauncey, and all these niggas, his boys Stacy and all that. But he came in there with his cousin Harold. Old Dog in there showing the goddamn videotape like he's a celebrity or some shit. I'm like, dude, chill. They get the drinks, they get it pop, and then they realize like that we gotta get some food. So Old Dog, Stacy, and AWACS in one car, Caine and his cousin Harold in another car. So they basically go in the spot to get some food or whatever like that. Then some niggas get the drop on Caine and Harold or whatever like that. But Harold said he ain't going out like no bitch. He tells Caine to get out the car and run. But they end up blasting Harold, done deal, dead as shit. Caine ended up getting hit too. But all they wanted was the car, so they dipped off or whatever like that. Meanwhile, Old Dog and everybody go get Caine and get him straight to the hospital. So the one person he sees when he wakes up from the hospital is a chick named Ronnie. Ronnie's got a son named Anthony. Now we found out Caine's been watching after her for a while now. Why is this? Because Ronnie's actually Purnell's baby mother. So you're probably thinking to yourself, where the hell's Purnell at? Well, apparently he got caught up in some shit, and bottom line is he gonna be locked up for life. So because Caine be selling dope, whatever like that, he got a little bit of money he wants to get to Ronnie, but Ronnie be acting like she don't want to take it. Because I'm pretty sure she knows where it comes from. Later on, he goes to the spot to go visit Old Dog, Stace, Chauncey, and all AWACS and them niggas. So Chauncey gets a knock at the door. It's some white guy coming to him. He gives him a picture of this like black Nissan Maxima or whatever. So basically Chauncey's got this thing set up so that Caine and Old Dog and AWACS can get this car. I guess they're gonna sell it, make some money off it, whatever the situation is, who knows. So they all set up to go in the garage to get this car, whatever like that, but apparently this car was hot. Because apparently as soon as they was about to get it, the boys start surrounding the damn parking lot. We're like, what the heck? AWACS gets away somehow. Old Dog and Caine try to hide, but the canines end up getting them and they get caught. So because technically they didn't steal the car, they was able to get out. They released Old Dog because he was a minor anyway. Niggas back to doing their hustling shit and all that stuff. Beating up crackheads for not giving them their money. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? So like I said, Old Dog got released, but before Caine got released, they kept asking them about the liquor store stuff. Now, how did they find out about that? Well, apparently, Caine messed around and dropped a beer bottle on the floor, which broke or whatever. But Old Dog ended up shooting the cash register, you know what I'm saying? And when they took him in, they matched his fingerprints to the fingerprints that was on the bottle. And then we get the line from Bill Duke like, yeah, so you bought the bottle at 11:15? Then he said, you sure you bought the bottle at 12:15? Yeah, he was just fucking around with him, and then like Caine was like, oh yeah, I did it, but I don't, yeah. They was trying to get him puzzled and tripping and all that, but bottom line is, they ain't got the videotape, they ain't got no proof. So basically they had to let Caine out of jail, and bottom line is, he gets out of jail, Chauncey's got some things set up, whatever like that, to get this car that he's supposed to be able to get. They got some stuff done that's legit, whatever like that. Now Caine got a whip. But the thing is, he was looking for some rims, so obviously he's gonna jack somebody with some rims. And he caught a jackpot. He got this nigga rims. He got somebody's jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Got some food out of it. Got some extra cheese. So it gets to the point he's about to go to the cookout, meet up with his boys, Old Dog, AWACS, Stacy, and all the niggas. And this dude Sharif is there too. Now Sharif, he's like a born again Muslim and all that stuff. But the thing is, he's had a past too. So like, you know what I'm saying? To convert himself out of that, you know what I mean? He got locked up and he became a Muslim. And he's always preaching to them like, the black man is being poisoned, my brothers, by the white man. I mean, you get the speeches, you know what I'm saying? Before he gets there, he ends up seeing this chick named Aina, ends up putting the Mac down, you know what I'm saying? Getting the number, getting it popping. This chick is important to the story. So now everybody's kicking it at the cookout and whatnot. And then Sharif's dad come out of nowhere. Yeah, remember the guy from Rock? Can't remember his real name, but he was in the show back in the day called Rock. He was also in a movie called Low Down Dirty Shame. You know what I'm talking about. He wants to see Caine later on, you know what I'm saying? He wants to talk to him about his future. So later on, Caine meets up with him and his son Sharif. And he's talking about him like, look, man, do you want to survive? I mean, because you keep doing the stuff you're doing out here, you're going to be dead or in jail. Now he finds out Stacy and Sharif are going to be moving to Kansas. Now he's thinking to himself, what exactly is in Kansas? He doesn't know, but bottom line is this is all he knows. This is streets, this is life, right? But Sharif's dad is still trying to get through to Caine, you know what I'm saying? Then we got the situation where Caine is riding home. Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. My bad. So yeah, Caine's cousin Harold did get killed, but they did get their get back. And Caine, Old Dog, and AWACS caught them niggas slipping. The dudes tried to order some food. Caine and Old Dog came around from the back with the shotguns. Bow! Hit these niggas, done deal daddy shit. Alright, now back to current events. So Caine and Sharif, after talking to his dad, they were driving back around the way. All of a sudden, police stop him. Probably thinking to themselves, where you get this cool ass car with these rims or whatever like that. They beat him up, you know what I mean? Tossed him in the back of the police car. And instead of taking him to jail, they just dropped him off in a random essay spot. Thinking to themselves they're in the wrong neighborhood, and the police thought to themselves that the essays were just gonna beat the shit out of them, right? So a couple Mexican dudes seen them, you know what I'm saying, just laid out in the alley or whatever like that. But instead of actually beating them up, they actually took them to the hospital. I guess they figured what time it was. They knew what happened. So after they held up in the hospital or whatever like that, Ronnie ends up having this little party or whatever. And I guess everybody was there. Old Dog, you know what I'm saying, AWACS, Chauncey, Stacy, Sharif. There's a bunch of random chicks there too. And she made sure Anthony stayed in his room, whatever like that. Cause she trying to be responsible when a lot of niggas aren't. Now we found out Chauncey's been trying to get at Ronnie for a minute or whatever like that. But he's just like, you know, making gestures like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's drunk at this point. So then Stacy's trying to smoke. And then Ronnie's like, hey, yo, take that outside. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my son smelling that. So a couple of them go outside to smoke and drink and all that other stuff. All of a sudden, Anthony comes outside out of nowhere. They like about to offer him beers and stuff like that. He's like, yo, cut that out, yo. Of course, Ronnie comes out there, gets him, and gets him back in the house. And then she calls Caine in there for a minute. Now, at this point, she's thinking to herself, she's trying to move too. Now, she had told him back when he was in the hospital that she's about to go to Atlanta. So they get into an argument because he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life. So she's kind of mad at him because he's not making a decision. And then he finally decides, he's like, you know what? I'm going to move to Atlanta with y'all. That's all she wanted to hear. She starts kissing him. He's like, nah, I can't be doing that. And she's like, come on, yo, Pernell ain't never getting out. You know what I mean? They end up kissing and he ends up giving her the business. Afterwards, they end up going back downstairs to the party. So now when they get back downstairs to the party, Chauncey's still trying to like, you know, talk to Ronnie once again, but he's like doing extra stuff. He's filling on her and all this other shit. Now Caine is watching this go down. And he's had enough. He goes over to Old Dog. He's like, yo, you still got that strap, yo? He goes over and beats the shit out of Chauncey with the butt of the gun just banging on him. I'm like, dude. Yeah, he was going off on Chauncey. So afterwards, he ends up going over to like Old Dog's house, just chilling, whatever, right? He ends up getting a phone call from Elena. Now, prior to all this, he was smashing Elena. He was smashing her a little bit. She calls telling him that she's pregnant. He's like, ain't mine. He said he basically strapped up, you know what I'm saying, when he went up in her. She's like, condoms can break or whatever like that. He's like, I'm not believing this shit. And afterwards, he just hung up on her. He was just like, I ain't got time for this shit. That's gonna mess around and be a costly mistake. So Caine and Old Dog are about to go over to their grandparents' house or whatever like that. Before they even get to the door, this dude comes out of nowhere. He's like, hey, yo, you Caine? So we find out this is Elena's cousin or whatever like that, and he went to smoke. So Caine said, fuck all that. He just popped him and just started stomping the fire out of him. And his grandparents pulled him in the house, and Old Dog got to stomp him just for good measure. So his grandparents give him a lesson. He's just like, look, man, we did everything we could for you. Bottom line is you gotta get out the house tonight. So he's like, damn, where am I gonna go? He's like, I don't care at this point. Bottom line is you ain't gonna be here. So basically that's giving him more reason to chill with Ronnie and get everything popping within the next couple of weeks before they go to Atlanta. So in between this time, Chauncey's still mad that he got beat or whatever like that. So basically he's like, yeah. That's all right. But bottom line is I'm gonna give the goddamn tape to the police. I'm like, really? Just so you could get back at Caine? But Old Dog didn't do nothing to you. He's the one that was blasting niggas on the tape. So basically, Chauncey a bitch ass nigga for doing that. If I'm Old Dog, I'd have been whipping his ass too. So basically while they was looking for people, Old Dog had to bounce around different houses and whatnot. And now comes the day where Caine, Ronnie, and Anthony are all about to dip out, you know what I'm saying? They packing up the car and whatnot. Not knowing or realizing Elena's cousin is about to ride out with his dudes. They about to get the popping. Cause cousin thinking to himself like, oh, he ain't gonna take care of this baby. Ain't gonna stomp me out. So they ain't having that shit, right? So Caine, Sharif, Old Dog are like moving stuff, whatever like that. Stacy's in the house getting some boxes. Ronnie's in the house making sure everything's good. Anthony's riding around with his bike, you know, his big wheel or whatever like that. He got a new one. While he's doing that, here come the cousin with the guns. Drive by, they start lacing. Old Dog starts lacing back. The aftermath. Old Dog's looking around. Sharif done deal his shit. Caine's hanging on for dear life, but he used his life to protect Anthony. And he basically died in Stacy's arms. Done deal his shit. And that's Menace to Society for you, at least the way I saw it and wanted to tell it. Probably missed some other parts, but basically I just wanted to tell you the legit story of what was going on. You know, the main parts. Because let's be real, the story was really about Caine. It was basically about his environment, you know what I'm saying, having to make decisions. And, you know, he never felt like he had a choice considering how he grew up. Now, there was this one scene before they went back to the house. Ronnie, Caine had went to the prison so they could say goodbye to Pernell. And Pernell gave Caine his blessing, you know what I'm saying, to take care of his son and to take care of Ronnie because, you know, he ain't getting out of jail. He there for life. And like I said, Caine looked up Pernell like he was actually his dad. But it's wild to think after everything he went through, as many times he went to jail, as many times he got beaten up by the police, robbing and stealing and then murking niggas because of his cousin. Who would have been because he got a random thought pregnant? That would have been the thing that would have got him murked full. right when he was about to leave the hood. Crazy how things happen, you know what I'm saying? Moral of the story, do your best to live right, because karma's a motherfucker. Menace to Society, if you haven't seen it yet, the heck is wrong with you? But bottom line is, check it out.